John's Dream. My name is John. I am an old man now. But many years ago I was a young boy with a big dream. I lived with my mother. She was sick most of the time. My father had died when I was small, so I wanted to help my mother. I wanted to be strong for her. I did not go to school much. I started working early. I got a job in a small market. I cleaned the floor, carried boxes, and helped the customers. The money was little, but I was happy to help. I wanted my mother to rest. Every morning before work, I brushed my hair and made it look nice. I liked looking clean and smart. The owner of the market noticed me. One day, he said, "You always style your hair. Maybe you should try to be a barber." At first I laughed. A barber? Me? I had never thought about that, but that night I could not sleep. I kept thinking about his words. Maybe he saw something in me. Maybe I could learn. So the next day I made a choice. I would try. I wanted to do something better, something I could love. I didn't know if I would fail or not, but I wanted to try. I went to the barber shop the next day. My heart was beating fast. I had never been to a place like that before. The shop was small, with 2 chairs and a big mirror. The barber was an old man with white hair and kind eyes. I said, "Sir, I want to learn. I want to become a hairdresser." He looked at me and smiled. "You are young," he said, "but if you work hard, I will teach you." I was so happy. I went to the shop every day after work. I watched him cut hair. I cleaned the floor. I brought coffee. Slowly he started to show me how to use the scissors. At first I made many mistakes. I cut the hair too short. I dropped the comb. One time I even cut my finger. The old barber laughed and said, "That's how we learn. Don't give up." His words stayed in my heart. My hands were slow, but my eyes were fast. I watched and learned every small move. I listened carefully. The barber let me practice on wigs. Then he let me cut real hair, just a little. I was scared, but also excited. My dream was starting to grow. And all this time, I still worked at the market. I was tired, but I didn't stop. My mother saw my effort. She smiled at me and said, "I'm proud of you, John. That was the best reward for me." Her smile gave me strength. Months passed. I was getting better at cutting hair. The barber gave me more chances. He let me cut hair for some of the regular customers. I was nervous at first, but I did my best. The customers smiled and said, "Good job, young man." That made me feel proud. One day, a man came into the shop. He had very messy hair. The barber looked at me and said, "John, you do it." I froze for a second, but I nodded and took the scissors. I worked slowly and carefully. When I finished, the man looked in the mirror and said, "I look great." I smiled the whole day. I started saving money. Every small coin I earned, I kept. I had a dream. I wanted to open my own shop one day. It felt like a big dream, but I believed in myself. I wanted to show my mother that I could do something special with my life. But life was still hard, Some days I was so tired I could not feel my feet. Some nights I had no time to study or rest. People laughed at me too. They said, "You are wasting time. Be something else." But I didn't listen. I kept working, kept learning, and the old barber kept helping me. He said, "You have hands of gold, John, don't stop." His words gave me hope. 1 year later, something bad happened. The old barber got sick. He could not work like before. He said to me, "John, now you take care of the shop." I was shocked. "Me? Alone?" I asked. He nodded and said, "You are ready." At first I was scared, but I did not want to fail him. I opened the shop every morning. I welcomed the customers with a smile. I cut their hair with care. Some people did not trust me at first. They wanted the old barber, but slowly they came back. They saw I worked hard. Soon more people started coming to the shop. They told their friends, "There is a young boy who cuts hair very well." I felt happy. My hands were stronger. My skills were better. My dreams started to look real. I still helped my mother at home. She was proud. She told her friends, "My son is a barber now. He works so hard." When I heard that, I wanted to work even harder. I wanted to make her proud every day. The old barber smiled when he saw the shop full of people. One day he said, "John, you are not just a good barber. You are a good man." I will never forget those words. As time passed, I saved more money. I worked from morning till night. I did not take many breaks. I wanted to open my own barber shop. That was my big goal. My mother's health was getting worse, and I wanted to make her life better. I wanted her to see my dream come true. After 2 years of hard work, I had enough money. I found a small place near the centre of town. It was old and needed cleaning, but I did not care. It was mine. I painted the walls, bought mirrors, chairs and lights. I wrote my name on the door, John's Barber Shop. I cried that day. They were happy tears. The first day was quiet. Only 2 customers came. But I gave them my best work. They smiled and said, "We will come back." And they did. They told their friends. Soon my shop was full every day. People said, "He is the best barber in town." My mother came to see the shop. I helped her walk inside. She sat on a chair and looked around. She smiled and said, "You did it, John." That moment was the best moment of my life. I hugged her and cried. I said, "Thank you, Mom. I did it for you." I hired a young boy to help me, just like I helped the old barber. I told him, "If you work hard, you can be great." He listened. He reminded me of myself. I wanted to help him grow, just like I had grown. Life was not easy, but my dream came true, and I learned that hard work, love and hope can make anything possible. Years passed. My shop grew and I got older. I trained many young barbers. Some opened their own shops. I felt proud. My name became known in the town. People called me Mr. John the Barber. But one day my mother passed away. I sat by her side, holding her hand. I said, "Thank you for believing in me." I was very sad, but I knew she had seen my success. That gave me peace. Now I am an old man. I still cut hair, but not as much. I sit in my chair and watch the young ones work. Sometimes I tell them my story. They listen and smile. I tell them, never stop dreaming, never stop working. You never know how far you can go. That is my story. A boy with no father, a sick mother, and a dream. And now I am a barber who found his place in the world.